Edgar was always fascinated by tales of the unexplored and the legends that seemed just out of reach of the known world. As a young boy in a sleepy English village, he would spend hours in the local library, poring over books about explorers who ventured into unknown territories. Among the many stories that captured his imagination, none intrigued him more than the mysterious tales surrounding the Mongolian steppes, home to the legendary figure of Genghis Khan and the rumored burial sites of ancient Mongol warriors. These burial sites, often referred to as the tombs of the Khans, were said to contain vast treasures and artifacts, untouched for centuries. The legend spoke of a great curse that protected these sites, deterring would-be plunderers and adding an air of danger and mystique to the adventure. Edgar was particularly drawn to the story of the lost tomb of Genghis Khan, which had eluded historians and treasure hunters alike. The tomb was not just a repository of wealth. It was a cultural relic, steeped in history and shrouded in mystery. Driven by a desire to make a mark in the world of archaeology and to experience the thrill of discovery, Edgar decided to specialize in Central Asian history during his university studies. He sought out mentors who shared his interest in Mongolian lore and spent years gathering knowledge and resources to prepare for an expedition. Edgar's interest in Mongolia was not just academic, it was deeply personal. He saw himself not just as a seeker of historical truths, but as a guardian of them. He believed that understanding the past was crucial to shaping the future, and he wanted to ensure that any findings from his expeditions were respectfully preserved and studied. This ethical approach set him apart from many contemporaries who might have sought only personal glory or financial gain. Furthermore, Edgar was motivated by the challenge of the Mongolian landscape itself. The rugged terrain, the extreme climate, and the vastness of the steppes called to his adventurous spirit. Mongolia represented the ultimate test of his skills and endurance, a place where he could push the boundaries of what was possible. Thus, when the opportunity finally came to lead an expedition to Mongolia, Edgar was ready. He had the training, the passion, and a deep respect for the culture and history of the region. His journey to Mongolia was the culmination of a lifelong dream, driven by a quest for knowledge and a deep-seated desire to connect with a part of the world that had captured his imagination since childhood. This adventure would soon take an unexpected turn, leading him to a profound bond with Aleron, further enriching his connection to the land and its stories. Edgar had once traversed the globe, seeking thrills and adventures in the hidden corners of the world, but now found solace in the quietude of his twilight years. His companion through many of these years was Aleron, a majestic eagle he had rescued from a hunter's trap in the distant mountains of Mongolia. Aleron, named after a legendary bird that could touch the heavens, had been more than a pet. He was a symbol of the wild that Edgar could no longer reach, a reminder of his youthful days of freedom. Edgar had crafted a spacious cage for Aleron, one that sat by his study window, allowing the eagle to watch the world he could no longer touch. Despite its size, the cage was still a cage. Over the years, Edgar's love for Aleron deepened, but so did his guilt for keeping such a spirited creature confined. Each day, Edgar would notice Aleron's gaze lingering longer on the horizon, where the sky kissed the earth, his eyes reflecting a profound longing. Edgar realized that the truest form of love he could offer his feathered companion was the freedom to fly once again. As Edgar grew older and his steps slower, he decided it was time to let Aleron go, to return him to the skies where he belonged. This decision came at a poignant time. Edgar's health was failing, and he knew his days were numbered. He wanted to see Aleron soar one last time, to know that he had undone the shackles he had inadvertently placed on his friend. The chosen morning was painted with the most beautiful dawn Edgar had ever seen. The air was crisp, the sky a canvas of orange, pink, and purple hues. With trembling hands and a heart full of bittersweet joy, Edgar opened Aleron's cage. The eagle hesitated at first, then stepped out, turned to Edgar with an understanding look, and took off towards the rising sun. Edgar stood outside his cottage, watching Aleron ascend higher and higher, the light of dawn illuminating his path. Tears of joy and relief streamed down Edgar's cheeks as he witnessed the embodiment of freedom and redemption. Aleron's powerful wings against the vast open sky. This final episode in their shared journey wasn't just a farewell, it was a liberation for both. For Aleron, it was the return to his natural realm, and for Edgar, it was the peaceful closure of his adventurous spirit, knowing he had rectified his past mistakes. As the eagle disappeared into the horizon, Edgar felt a profound connection to the earth and the sky, a silent acknowledgement that their spirits, though on different paths, would forever be intertwined in the dance of freedom.
In the quiet of a town, where stories are untold, Edgar's house stands, its walls lined with gold. A captive eagle, Aleron in his cage quietly stares, bound by unseen chains, burdened by life's cares. Fly free, Aleron, into the storm's wild embrace. As Edgar opens the cage, find your sacred space. Wings spread wide, skyward where you belong. In releasing you, he rights an ancient wrong. Echoes of a life spent roaming far and wide. A young man's dreams, now memories that abide. A hand hangs up the phone, a conversation ends. In solitude, Edgar contemplates the amends. Fly free, Aleron, into storm's wild embrace. As Edgar opens the cage, find your sacred space. Wings spread wide, skyward where you belong. In releasing you, he rights an ancient wrong. Under stormy veils, Edgar's heart beats anew. As the eagle takes flight, the spirit takes to the clouds, from earth to the sky. Aleron's freedom sings, the dawn breaks silent, the storm has cleared. An empty cage, the end of what Edgar feared. Gazing at the horizon, where Aleron now flies, a tear of joy marks under the open sky.